A very good morning, students, and welcome to this training programs on foundational digital literacy. And today we are in the closing day of week third, and we have a very important topic which is very close to my heart. That's introduction to coding and programming. So this topic is the topic where I have also started my career with, and trust me, this is amazing. And everybody today, I also believe that everybody should do coding once. Okay, every individuals, because it is not just for the software programmers. It is also for problem solving. It is also for computational thinking and many IT solutions today, which is coming up. That the base is coding, right? So no doubt there are different professions are there, but everybody should give a try to coding. That's amazing things to happen. So why I'm telling the same thing? Because at your age today, where you are right now, in the age of 13 to 15, in this age group, the role of codings plays a big role because there are many individuals, famous figures today in the world. They all have started almost in your age the coding, and today they are because they had the interest, they wanted to do the coding and they wanted to build something special for the world, and hence they have started. For example, I'll just show you some of the examples which is with some of the famous figure what they are talking about this coding. Steve Jobs, we know about Apple, right? Everyone should know how to program a computer because it teaches you how to think. Okay, it is very important because, I personally have encountered this in the early years when I was doing the coding. Uh, like anytime, any point of time, the mind is working. The mind is always running. That okay, how I can how I can create that kind of problem solving applications, how that bug could be solved, what I should do to do something new on that coding, how I can give a new touch on that coding platform. So all these things is very important, and it always like your brain is always working with the coding. So it is very important that right from the early age, if we are doing it, it is a great things to do it. So that was the Steve Jobs statement. I'll now quote some of the important personalities. Now, Bill Gates, who has started the coding at the age of 30, and today you know that the Microsoft is there completely, right? So the initial coding when in the era of when the computer was there first time, and then the assembly language was converting into the high level language. During that time, the coding was started by him, and today you have seen all the Microsoft programs are there, and he was always quoting that they have developed so many programs, so many softwares, okay, for different types of user. And even I'm just giving one example of Microsoft Word. The features are amazing. There are how many, and there is always upgrades. The new features are keep on coming, right? So this is one of the example of it, and people are maybe using maybe on Bill Gates said, okay, if people are using that 20% or 10% of my feature which we have developed, they are happy, right? They have enough features for that. Now we'll talk about the third personality, Mark Zuckerberg. In his sixth grade year, Mark Zuckerberg likely to begin developing his interest in computers and coding. And there's a lot of activity he has done to connect to support their parents' business, and he got a lot of interest towards the coding. And then this you have seen the Facebook is there. And now the early interest is very important for this. The Twitter CEO, Jack Dorsey, at the age of 15, he wrote a software dispatch system, and there are many programs they are writing it. We know about Elon Musk, right? The CEO of SpaceX and Tesla started the programming at the age of 10. He has got this, um, and that actually gives a lot of, like I tell you, the exercise of the brain actually happens when you start doing the coding. Okay, the warm up exercise and all those things I can tell you. So this was some of the inspirational figures which you can see it, and almost they all believe in coding. They all have the interest in coding, and they all wanted. They all have started very early. Okay, and It's all depend upon the personal interest. So today we'll help you out in this session that how the coding plays a big role and how easily we can start, okay, if we can build up our skills in this particular examples, right? So one of the famous statement like all our students deserve a chance to become a creator instead of consumer of computer science, right? So welcome once again everyone. So now we are going to talk about this fascinating world of coding. We'll learn what coding is, why it is important, and we'll try to understand the history of coding. And we'll help you to also understand that how easily we can start the coding. What's the advantage we are going to get with the coding, right? So let's get into this topic in detail. So coding is essentially the process of creating the instruction for the computers using the programming language. These instructions or a script tells the computer what to do, much like a recipe guides for a chef. Okay. Or example, you are at home and some guest is coming in your home and your parents are busy with them. In such cases, let's say they wanted you to do some kind of stuff in the kitchen, right? In that case, what will happen? Example, you don't know how to do it, right? You how to cook it. Example, they wanted you to make at least a recipe of halwa or something like that. What you will do? Like maybe your parents will give you the instruction, go and do like some kind of instruction is given to you that maybe you have to make it ready the tea or coffee or anything like that. The instruction is given, okay, turn on the light, turn on the gas stove, and then you are putting the uh, water in the vessels, then you are trying to include the tea powders and then milk and all those things, and then you are boiling it for a specific time limit, and then you are serving it, right? So this entire process, maybe you are not aware how to do it. There are some instruction which was guiding you, and once you follow the instruction properly, you are able to make a very good meal for the people, right? So in this example, consider the as a coder is your or the programmer is your parents who is giving you the guidance, and you are as a computer who is receiving the instruction and you are following it diligently and then you are doing it, right? So this is how computers are getting trained and computers are been programmed to do these things, and slowly this programming is reached to a level of artificial intelligence also, where like I given the examples when you don't require the guidance also how to cook it. You have done multiple times now. You can do it by your own, right? That's how the AI and other concept has come into picture. You have got the intelligence developed, right? Imagine the robots are going to cook the tea. So now that's where the coding and other things are originated. It is purely the way you are giving the instruction and the way computers are following it. It is the thing. But only thing is we need to understand that what language computer can understand our communication, because human can understand our native language. If you are Punjabi, then your parents can talk in Punjabi. You can understand easily. Okay, if you're Bengali, they can talk in Bengali. You can understand easily. But if computers don't understand these languages, right? Neither they understand English also. So what happens? They understand only the language of binary, that's a 0 and 1. So how can we give the instruction in the 0 1 format? Imagine if you are telling them to cook a coffee or something like that. How can you give the instruction in 0 to 1 form? That's a logic. And for that only, there are a lot of programming languages has come into picture. Why this programming languages come into picture? How we can give the instruction will come into picture, right? So today I think I'll share you a lot of input on that too, and some of the myth also I'll try to clarify. Okay, the number one myth is coding is only for the genius. So you can scrap this thing because anyone can learn the code with practice and patience. Like how you are uh, like some people are telling that mathematics is a very tough subject, but for some it is very easy. Why? Because they understand the logic, they are doing a lot of practice, they can solve the equation easily. Okay, in the mathematics also, or the science problem is given. For some it is difficult, for some it is easy. Okay, some has developed the interest in learning it. Okay, some has not developed the interest in learning it. They are having a illusion in front of them that, oh no, it is very tough thing, right? So if you are good in mathematics, you are good in science, you will be definitely good in programming and understanding the coding thing. Well, I'll explain you all these things. For some, coding is boring. Initially, I have also felt that because I used to sit on the computer and I used to do the coding, uh, we never know that okay, when the sun rises and when the sun sets, because you are full time on the coding, and until the problem or until the final products you wanted to achieve, until that is not developed, you are not relaxing, right? And you are continuously, the lot of software programmers, if your parents are also software programmers, they'll tell you that they are continuously busy in writing the codes in the computer so that the computer can give you some output. If it is not giving the output, some problems in their instruction, and you are finding that and keep continuing the same work. So sometimes it looks like boring, but it is not. It is very fun. Every time when you are working in a, as I told you, the 21st century skills, the moment you are developing, whether we talk about collaboration skills, team building skills, right? When you have the collaborations, when you use the AI, a lot of showstoppers can be resolved. You will be able to do without having much difficulty, and it you will feel like it's a fun the moment you start doing it. Okay, because it develops 21st century skills in you. See, no jobs today, nobody can promise, okay, when you come out from the schools or college, you will definitely get this job because things are changing rapidly. Okay, the way it is changing, maybe that today the coding is done by the AIs also, right? So we need to understand that how we can adapt with the new change and what essential skills is required. So definitely the essential skills are required apart from the reading, writing, and arithmetic, which you do in the schools, right? The five C's are important. 3 hours reading, writing, arithmetic, you know how to do it. But the five C's is something which you need to practice and you need to see that, okay, this skills is important for my life. Whether we talk about creativity, more practice on creativity side, critical thinking. Okay, so you have to think always critically, problem solving part. Then you are doing a communications, you are doing a collaborations, right, with the people. And last but not least, it is about the computational thinking. These things, if you are doing it, trust me, in any problem you are solving it, you are developing that skills under you. Okay, and that will definitely help you out in succeeding in the future. So giving you one instance that why coding becomes so essential. Okay, try to understand this example. Okay, uh, I'll just show you that one students who has got the maths problem in front of them, and how they can connect with the coding problem. Okay, just to make you understand what the coding can do. Okay, so let's say there's a question using math. Can we solve this? There's a question, right? Calculate the area of rectangle with length 5 and width 3. Okay? Can you solve it? Could be because maybe you know the formula of mathematics, and you know that area of rectangle is length into breadth, and when you multiply this, you'll get the 15 as a area. But this is a small solution, okay? You are solving in the mathematics. But imagine uh, you are designing a software for the people who are you are designing the everyday, like this kind of mathematics are used in the real life, right? Example, some contractor, some people who are dealing with let's say construction industry, who is always making the buildings, okay? And they always have to find the area of carpet area of the house or the rooms and all those things. And maybe for doing the complex calculation, they don't know the mathematical formulas. Okay, they don't know about that. They wanted a simple method that some of the internal people has calculated as layman also, like anybody who is like not a very good in the mathematics. If they know, okay, what is the length of the room, Okay, this is the length. This is the width. Okay, so what is the carpet area which is we are getting it? So that if the length is big or some kind of thing, they wanted in the mobile phone itself in the simple application they wanted where they can enter. This is the length, this is the width, and what is the area which are getting it. If that program or that software is designed and given, we are connecting with the maths only, right? The topic is maths only. We are giving in front in and launching that kind of application for people to use it. What will happen? Anybody tomorrow they can use such application to calculate immediately the length and width. Today there are many examples are there, but I'm just trying to give you a basic example. This is how we calculated the area of mathematics. Now, for doing the programming in the computer, what exactly happens in the code? Example, we talk about the language of Python where we try to use HTML. We try to use a simple HTML programming with some of the JavaScript. Anyways, we are not going to touch right now about HTML and JavaScript and CSS, but just trying to explain you that in your study when you are learned about this HTML code, it's simple. What I can do is I can give a title in HTML, calculate the area of rectangle. I will use include the JavaScripts also into it. Some function has been created where we try to create here the area, okay, where the length is I created as a label as a length. That means length will be written. People will write the width. They will have the space where they can input it, and then final area will be calculated as per the function which is created. So function is created where we talk about area can be calculated as length into width. There's some like anyways when we will understand about programming that will be easy. But this is just a simple thing. Now I'll just show you the impact of this. Okay, let's say this programming I just copy it and I'll try to paste this programming into some place. Okay, I'm just showing you that example. Allow me a minute. Okay, I'm just resharing my screen with you so that you can understand the process. Great. So let's say I am just going to the in my folder and trying to create a normal notepad file. Okay, let's say I'm just creating a new folder. So sorry. So this is the new folder of programming. In this folder, I will try to create a. Okay, just allow me a second. I think the screen is not shared with you. It should be shared now. Okay. Now I have created a folder called programming here. And inside the programming folder, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to click on new and trying to use the normal text document, notepad. This is normal notepad, right? So I'll just say area calculator. Simple. That's a file name for me. When I open, it's a real notepad for me. Now, what I can do, I will go to my programming and I just try to, for time saving, I'm just trying to copy paste what is written here. And it is having the HTML opening tab, HTML tag, and I'll save it. Right? It is saved. I'll close it. The HTML is closed, which I can open it. It is having some codes, right? Now I'll try to rename it instead of having the ending with text. I'll try to use for HTML. Now it converts into HTML file. If I try to open this file, what has happened? It comes as like, okay, calculate area of rectangle. Area length is given. This is kind of application which could be, I'm just giving for the basic things, but we can design mobile app, we can design website, we can do a lot of compounding interest calculators, which is we can do it. There are a lot of things we can do it out of this, right? So just giving you example, whichever mathematical concepts we are learning, we can create out a kind of app also out of it. Okay. Now length. Let me give length as a 10, width as 12, and calculate area. What is coming? The area of rectangle is 120, right? Now, what has happened here? The label is used here, the level used here, the input tab is used here, the calculate area button is created, and then this is the area of rectangle is coming as 120. Now, simple way, I may wanted to increase something here, like some modification I want to do it here. So modifications, I can go back to my programming. I'll go to the open with. Again, I will open with Notepad. And simple, where the result is coming here, I will try to include after area, maybe the plus, I will include centimeter square, could be added after area with some space, or yeah, that could be done. And title, I can say, welcome, batch of Foundation Digital Literacy Program. I'll save it and nothing. I'll just go back to my this page. If I refresh this page, okay, maybe I have not saved it or I saved it. Open with Notepad. Okay, great. So I'll just save this part once again and try to open it. Just allow me a second. Great. Let me just check it out. Few thing here. Okay, now in the this place, you can see that centimeter square has come up here on the top, right? And the changes has been appearing here. So that's how the modifications and could be the changes in the programming. I wanted to add some more field and I want to change in the function of the formula that could be done. So these are the things which is important for us to understand that what can be included in this kind of programming. And so you would have seen this process right now to understand one thing. Okay, one thing is good that with how I have tried connecting a simple mathematical problem to some solution where anybody can calculate area. If imagine area is simple thing, you wanted to calculate the interest or loan calculator or talk about the compounding interest which you are learning in the mathematics, which is today it's a very real world in every banks are using the concept, the SIP calculator, the probability finder. For all those mathematics concepts which you are learning, if you are trying to create a program out of it, it will really help a lot of people in the real world. Okay, and today in the real world, people are doing the same. People are researching about what is the problem going on in the world. They try to, and some people who are analyzing the idea, maybe they don't have the coding skill, but they understand the idea. Okay, this is the idea. They come back, they tell some coding team that this is what we can develop. The coding team can immediately start the programming. They will choose the technology, they will choose the programming language, they will choose the platform, they will choose the database where the data should be storing, and that's it. It will be ready. So it is real fun. I think when the ITS syllabus, we are going to start with the students where we talk about in detail about one of the process with AI integration and coding. That time I can share you some of the real time projects which we are doing it and how can we develop the code, right? That part will really help you to understand about in a simple way how a beautiful programs or beautiful software could be developed which like Visual Studio we are using as a program, as a platform. We use .NET framework, we use Python, we use backend will be like MySQL or SQL Server, right? So all those concepts you should know, and then how we are deploying it online, how it is going into production, how mobile apps could be developed. So this, if you go through it and you practice a little bit with some knowledge, it is good to start doing, because project is some, it is not like software designing, and project is not something like today night I'll sit and I'll do it and finish it out. If you have got an idea, it takes time, it takes years. Like I showed you some examples in the beginning itself in the session, so that way it is taking a lot of time in terms of creating it. And hence the role of software programming come into picture. I have used that time HTML, JavaScript, and all those things to communicate to the computer. But this is not always true. That means I cannot always use these things. Have you ever thought about why so many languages are there for doing the programming? This question was used to come like to many intern which comes and join us. They comes and tell, okay, they get confused after graduations or after 12th, that which language we should learn. Example, we are learning the Python or Java. In future, the job is we are getting in .NET, or we are learning Python, we are getting something else. And there are so many languages out there right now, and we are somewhere we are getting confused at which language to learn and become master, and there is no end to that. Okay, so in such situation, why we can't learn one language? That kind of questions are always coming up. So to answer these questions, let me just give you some story of why this all languages has come up, so that you will understand, and what is the base of all the language, what we need to know. The intention is to provide a command to the computer. That's it. Simple thing. Now the way we are doing, some languages are easy language, they are designed easily for the people to understand the language. Okay, like HTML and all those things. The way we talk to computer, it's very easy. But some languages are using some advanced concept, right? So that way it is really helpful. So let me show you some of the examples here. So programming language, as I told you, it's a simple word, set of instruction. If you talk about the history, when the first time the computer was designed, the information which was used to be sent to the computer was in the form of a 0 and 1. It was sent in the form of electrical signal. Okay. So when electricity is on, it goes as a 1 as a value. And when it is off, when it is disconnecting, it's like going as a 0 as a value to the computer. That was the first time it was happening, 0 and 1 it was going. And it was basically the signal on and off. Based on that, what happened, the different like example, if they have to type 1, okay, in the computer, they have to pass value as 1 or value as 2 or value as 3. They cannot write 1 because computer don't understand that language as what is 1. So what they do is, they one time they pass the electrical signal, then they switch off. Okay, that signal, if the two times that this activity has happened, that means computer is understanding it as a 1. Okay, now same way, when it is two times to like electrical signal is passed and it is on a stage, it goes as 2, right? Two times it is passed, it goes as 2. In the third case, basically it is like it is in the fourth case, maybe the one time electrical signal is passed and two times it is not passed, it is going as 100, right? That converts as 3. So you must have seen in this binary languages, right? Binary numbers. So how to represent number 2? 1 0, 1 is electrical signal is on, 0 is off, 3 is 1 1, 4 is 100, 5 is 101. Now, if this is the binary language, imagine if they have to, computer has to understand what is 100, what is 200, what is 1000, how many times the switch on, switch off, switch on, switch off has to do. So it was a real challenging, and high current, voltage on, voltage down. It was really a problematic activity. So to solve this, what was happening? Computer scientist Grace Hopper has come into picture. She has designed this compiler where the this binary language can be represented as some number, okay, and that really helped us, okay, in understanding. It compiled everything. For example, what is happened here? Example, if we have to type A, okay, or a simple A as a word, what has to happen? A is representing like this: 011 00001. B is representing in a different way. Now, example, we have to type apple in the computer. Earlier days, we have to use these all binary languages of what is the meaning of A, P, P, L, E, and people should be very knowledgeable. They should know about each coding, okay, what they are writing it. Okay, they have programmed like that because machine is programmed like this. If you put like this, then only the A will print and B will print. And then later the keyboard has come into picture where if you press A, inside the assembly language programming is done such a way the moment you press in the keyboard A, it goes the value immediately in the computer in the form of 011 00001. The moment you put P, it goes in this format. Okay. Internally, the compiler plays a big role, which started converting these languages into this binary language, right? And hence the Apple word, you can see it, how it is coming up. It is the big number. To solve this problem, it was the computer was only used by some specific personalities, okay, who is having the full knowledge about this all languages, this all machine level languages or assembly language I can talk about. Then it was not only to be used by the computer scientists. Then with the people thought, okay, computers should be used by the general public also. In such case, how a general public can use or how a general programmer can use. So what happened? There are companies like Microsoft, okay, they all have or the programmings like COBOL, Fortran, these all programming languages has been developed, okay, which is not in the form of 0 1, but in the form of programming language, where people can do they can communicate to the computer, they can pass the instruction like I showed you HTML thing. They can create a different many players has come into picture, and they all have designed their own softwares so that you using that software anyone can provide a instruction to the computer, and that software has got some background coding, assembly language coding. So if you provide some command, it goes in the system like this. So some examples of the languages which is in the history was this is Miss Gray Hoppers, who is actually that talks about this. I'm so sorry for that. So, assembler is like converting the assembly language from 0 to 1, and compiler, which converts the high level language to 0 to 1. So, what is high level language? The programs like C, C++, these all things has come into picture, right? So, the first programming languages was like Fortran. Then it was done by the team of IBM. They have designed these languages and they told people to use it. Then COBOL was used. Okay, the COBOL was very popular language during that time. It was completely uh, under the guidance of Miss Grace Hopper. It was done, and using this language, people used to give the instruction to computer. Then slowly, the programming languages has come up. They are a little tough to understand, and logic was there. Then many companies has come. They told, okay, why not? We should create a programming language. The history was done like this. Why not? We can create a programming language which is easy for people to understand. So you can see that right from the different years, this programming language, 1972, the C, and SQL 1978, C++ 1980. Okay, then slowly that Perl 90s, it is Python, Lua, Ruby, JavaScript, in 2001 C Sharp of Microsoft, right? Then Rust, 2011, the Kotlin, the Swift, Dart. Okay, the different languages has come up today. Also, you will talk about there are React is there. Okay, there are many languages are there which is important for people to, and that all is giving them more flexibility to the programmer to choose the language. There are many languages out there, but the base is we have to communicate to the computer, And some languages are supporting a multi-tier architecture. That means connecting to database. There because there are see, it is not. There are many companies who design only one language, maybe for designing the web page, but some companies create a programming language which supports to connect to my database where the data can be stored. Okay, so there are different people who do the different languages. So people need to understand, okay, this language can be learned for understanding the mobile app designing. Some language can be learned to design a very new, like example, you must be seeing the Facebook page, Instagram page, the Netflix page. They all right now use the technology of React, where the page loading time is very less. Okay, and they wanted every industry wanted their pages to be loaded very fast. So they try to hire the people who knows how to use React language. Okay, so that they can put some elements in the web loading, and it will be started loading the page very fast. Okay, and even the mobile app development, the different languages, which makes the performance very fast of the computer. So companies are hiring people who is always understanding the base of all languages, and tomorrow any language which comes in the market, they can easily adapt it. But some people also have a very good experience in learning only one language. They can learn throughout their life. They are the expert in that. Okay, so you can ask them to do anything on that language, they can do it. Okay, because they are the expert in that. But for many people who are adaptive, who understand the change in the IT segment which is happening every day, the new languages are coming up, and it gives a new option for the people, new feature sets of the people, which was not possible in the previous language, right? So that way it is really helpful. Okay, so so that way it is different languages are there, and people can understand the command lines of these languages, how to print, how to save file, how to um, do the business logic. This all programming languages are playing a big role, right? And there are many job profiles which all they use a different programming languages, like data scientists, DevOps, front end developer, full stack developer who knows everything, mobile developer, database developer, blockchain specialist, okay, penetration tester. Now testers also today, that the job on the testing side in IT, they also are now learning the languages, programming languages, to automate their testing. Okay. So for example, I'm just giving example of a tester. Example, I'm the tester of a company, and we are designing a website for a school. Okay. Now, maybe in my team, one coding team is there who is designing the website for your school. Now they have done the logic completely. They are putting in a lot of cyber security stuff in the coding so that it will not be a stuff. So they are also getting some input from the cyber security, that how to protect the code. So they are not just writing a normal code, they are also including some security on the code. Then to make the website looks good, there is a different team who design the web page layout so that it will look very classy. It looks very attractive for the people. And one team is designing the website, other team is designing the backend logic. If you click on some enrolling into the admission, what you should happen, if you inquiry, what should happen. Okay, there's some kind of response, the automatic mail should come, and all those things in the school website is available. So that is done by the separate team. Database where it should be stored, done by the separate team. The different teams has designed this website for your school and given it. Now what is the guarantee that website will work properly? Okay, so it should be going through a testing team. So let's say I'm the tester. What I can do, I will first test each and every functionality, whether website is not crashing anywhere. Okay, if it is giving me some option to upload a image, I will try to upload a image of very high qualities, or something like some kind of different types of images. I can try to enter it. I can in the field of mobile number, I'll try to enter some text. Okay, to check whether it takes the mobile number input or not. So these all testing I can do, and I can tell, okay, these are the areas which you can require improvement. Then what will happen? Maybe my software team will go back and do the changes. After changes, they will say, again, you test it. And I, as a tester, again will go through the entire testing process. So to automate my work as a tester, I also need to learn about the coding. So testing is not only just a manual testing. I need to automate my process. That means I will design a program in such a way that whatever steps I am doing the testing, it should be recorded. And next time, if new release has come from my team, I can just click on a button that should be played, and it will go and test everything. Wherever it gets stuck, I can easily come to know what is the problem. So today in IT field, whether we talk about tester, there is a manual tester, there is automation tester. Automation tester requires to have programming knowledge. The coder required to have programming language. So in these fields, which you can see on the screen, machine language, data scientist, they all needs to know about this programming language to automate their work. Okay, but IT is not all about programming. And one more important update I'll give you today, because of AI, let's say the website designing process, if I talk about, today this it is not only about AI is there and only that like any specific group is in they are getting threatened by the AI, but everywhere today in the IT there are a lot of layoffs are happening because of the AI has come into picture. AI is what? AI is a helping hand for the people who understand how to use AI. They can survive, right? Because a website like a school website today, AI can do in maybe in 10 to 15 minutes. But if they design it, somebody should be there who can control, who can understand what is the requirement of the client, and they can modify it. But he can make use of AI in his day-to-day life. If that has been happening, and he there because AI can give you all the kinds of long codes, but a proper person who is the software programmer who knows that how to optimize my code, how to make it small, how to do it, everything. They are the people who understand the basics. They are the people who can survive in the field of in the world of AI today, who know how to get the work done from AI and how to modify it properly and do the work in much faster way. But people who don't know how to use AI, they just are the software programming and they are just copying the code from the AI and doing it for them. It is difficult, right? So before coming into this kind of thing, you must start basics in your own subject area and because technology is changing so rapidly, 70% of the job you all will be having have not been invented yet. So start from what you are studying in the school, start from that. Additionally, start learning the basics of coding, and stick to one of the programming language in the beginning and understand the logic of it. Do not remember the code like mathematics. Some people remember the formulas. Do not remember that. Just try to understand it, because it's all about digital literacy is all about understanding it, right? So coding is like a magic, but instead of waving a hand on the magic, you write the spell. Inspire students to learn coding, right? And digital literacy is not about the using technology, it's about understanding it, right? So our this completes and wraps up our week third of the session. Now, in the week fourth, we are going into a lot of portfolio designing process, okay? And we are trying to understand how to use the devices, how to use the software in the real world. So that area we are coming into the next week part. So next sessions will be on Monday. We can discuss on that, right? Thank you so much for joining. I hope this advanced week concept has given you clarity on IT, AI, ML, financial digital literacy, and coding part, right? Thank you so much for joining.